Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're doing another Swiss M15 draft. Open Jace again, so I think I'm going to take him again. Got to play the Planeswalkers, right? He's pretty good, actually. He's not that great, but for limited, pretty good. Give you a little bit of card value. I love that it doesn't even draw you a card, which is just strange, but it does bounce stuff, so hard to argue with renewable bounce and some better card quality on a stick. And it, absorbs damage for you. Geist the Moors is a great card. A little bit of a liability since it's a 1 toughness dude. Forge Devil just eats it alive. Jorubai Merklurker. I always want to play this guy, and then the one time I do blue-black, I never see him, so he seems like he's pretty good. Decent price. Give Lifelink is definitely good. Crowd's Favor is an excellent trick because it's potentially free. Invasive Species is a great card, especially with Enter the Battlefield abilities like Shaman of Spring, for example. Torch Fiend, Kinsbale Skirmisher, some decent other stuff, but yeah, Jace feels pretty good. Okay, follow-up pick. Let's see here. Dauntless River Marshal's pretty bonkers. Played it a couple times. Yeah, tapping stuff down is a big deal. I think he's worth taking here. If white doesn't pan out, so be it. Otherwise, it's Welkin Turn, which is a good beater, but it can't block well. Aeronaut Tinkerer, decent. Not going to complain about that. Swiftclaw's pretty good. Sentinel's not bad. This guy defends well. Let's take the River Marshal. I think that's the correct direction. Once again, if white doesn't work out, no big deal. If blue doesn't work out, no big deal. Let's just see what's open. Try and get on top of this as best we can. All right, Caves, I guess. Does a little fixing for me. Paragon's a good card. Gotta respect the Lord. Accursed Spirit has Intimidate, which is good. Charging Rhino's a nice beater. Pillar of Light's actually a pretty good card. I like White Removal. Chrono Stutter, a little bit overpriced, but it does its job. Satyr Wayfinder's combo-ish with that Oozy Scavenger-ish guy, whatever his name is. Shadowcloak Vampire is a good beater too. Could just take the Pillar of Light. I guess there's times where you just can't play it. I mean, alternatively, I can take the Paragon of Eternal Wilds because he's a Lord and just diversify even more. It might be early enough. We just sort of see what's open. But, I mean, Pillar of Light is legit white removal. I don't know. I think I'm going to take the Paragon. If green pans out, I'm going to be happy I take it. I'm not going to be sad if I miss out on that Pillar of Light, I don't think. Like, Elvish Mystic here is a great card. Coral Barrier's not bad. I think Elvish Mystic's just the pick. Ramp. We already have a Lord now, so it even justifies it more. There's also a Willforged Golem in here, which is good. But yeah, let's just slam the Elvish Mystic. Fourth pick, Elvish Mystic's a pretty good sign since he not only convokes stuff out, but ramps, so it's very good. Okay, so Venom Sliver, pretty good. Titanic Growth, good trick. Could just take the Death Touch guy. I do like the trick, though. Titanic Growth is good. I kind of like the Venom Sliver just because I've got the Paragon, but it's hard to argue against +4/+4. That is a solid trick. Let's just take the Venom Sliver. I don't know. Something about this guy. I like him. Death Touch in this format seems good. Undergrowth Scavenger is that guy I was talking about earlier. I think he's good. We could also take the Ranger's Guile, but we could try the Scavenger out. I guess it's early enough where I can pick up some Satyr Wayfinders and make this guy shine a little bit more. I do like Ranger's Guile a lot, though. It's hard to argue against the hexproofy pump. I love that this is combat trick plus anti-removal. It's just an excellent green card. Originating from Innistrad, one of the best limited formats of all time. So is Midnight Guard. So they just pulled some couple Innistrad cards right next to each other there. Yeah, I don't know. I guess Scavenger goes late too. They're both unexciting, to tell you the truth. It's just early enough for Scavenger where I might be able to make that weird Satyr Wayfinder deck work. And I've never done it before. That's a late Paragon of Open Graves. It's a really late Lord. I might just want that because that to me is almost a sign that black is open. I mean, otherwise I'm just taking a Runeclaw Bear, which is fine, but not terribly exciting. I'm going to take the Paragon of Open Graves. That's like, I don't know, to me that tells me, I feel like that tells me black is open. That's, what was that, 3rd, 7th pick Lord? That's pretty impressive. Brawler's Plate's a good card. Child of Night is pretty good too, actually. Especially with the Lord. We're going to need some black creatures. Yeah, Child of Night's a pretty just good dude. Down early or down late, it's still fine. At least it can chump and gain you life late game. Early game, gaining you life, dealing damage. It's very life swingy. I'd like the Brawler's Plate too, but let's take the Child of Night. I'm cool with that. I don't think I do rock very often, so this is kind of interesting. Let's take the Shaman of Spring. I'm cool with that. I think at this point we can just hide the white and blue. So our first couple picks are irrelevant, but that's okay. I feel like we have a good shot at getting some nice green and black here. I like the Maggot, actually. Otherwise, I'm doing Verdant Haven, but that doesn't make sense. Neither of these are splashable in this deck at this point. Black Cat's fine, but let's take the Maggot. I actually like this card. There we go. Table the Wayfinder. That's great news for our Scavenger. So let's... otherwise, Shadowcloak Vampire would actually be very good too. But we're going to take the Wayfinder because... it'd be interesting to make the Scavenger Wayfinder deck. I haven't done it yet. I think people would probably be interested in seeing it. I like the Zoff Shade, but I think we're going to take the Necrobite just because we've already got a few 4-drops. And if I see, you know, the Scavenger Wayfinder deck is totally able to be assembled because they're both commons. But that means I'm going to have even more 4-drops. So I really do need to dial it back on the rest of my deck if I'm going to try and hope to make that work. Tormod's Crypt, sure. Turns on artifact stuff. Graveyard Exile, pretty irrelevant. I guess if we make the Wayfinder deck work, it would be good against us. Okay, so options now. Geez, Triplicate Spirits? So good. Zathrid Slyblade is very, very good. Black Hexproof is unheard of. Literally unheard of. There's no other black hexproof card. And yeah, you can name that one from Gatecrash or whatever, but you need to pay blue to give it hexproof. So I don't even count that one because you can't give it hexproof unless you have blue if you play that one. This one is straight up black hexproof, which really doesn't even make sense. It's supposed to be a green and blue ability. Flesh to Dust is sick too. We tabled Wayfinder last time. Let's just hope that we do it again. So then it's removal versus the hexproof guy that can get... That's tough. They're both really good. I mean, it's so hard to pass the Flesh to Dust. That card just deals with everything. This card is so good too, though. I think I got to take the Flesh to Dust. I haven't gotten a chance to play the Slyblade either, so I really want to take it, but Flesh to Dust is so powerful. It's just straight up kill anything. I think I got to take it. That kind of sucks, but that's all right. It's still a great pick, so it's not like I'm pissed about it. Alright, Carrion Crow flies, Invasive Species bounces. I guess Invasive Species is cooler with the Wayfinder for the Scavenger. So maybe I want that. It's also a very efficient beater. And it fills our 3-drop. Okay, I sold it to myself. Actually, God, Yisan the Wanderer Bard is a great rare. I think I'm actually going to take Yisan over the Invasive Species. I mean, I've got a 1-drop, I've got the 2-drops, I've got 4 drops. It's early enough where I figure I'm going to get some 3-drops. This guy seems really cool. Let's take the Wanderer Bard. Good picks in there. For Court of Calling's in this? Yeah, Court of Calling. Oh, man, and the Scavenger's in here too? But this searches up my Scavenger. And it's got Convo. I gotta take Court of Calling. That seems so good. It's instant speed, bring a creature out. No one expects that. Yeah, it's triple green, but come on. Maybe we'll table the Scavenger. I'll get lucky. Alright, Charging Rhino seems like a big BA dude. Nothing too incredibly good for us otherwise. Actually, Endless Obedience is pretty good, but doesn't really combo well with the Undergrowth Scavenger. I guess you can bring the Scavenger back in case you mill it. That's actually not bad. But yeah, Charging Rhino is a big, fat dude that I want. So let's get him. Siege Worm is pretty bonkers. I'm happy getting that. Bloodhost is good too. Sliver Hive Lord. Jeez. Guess I could get him out for the low cost of 8 mana. Let's, he's a 5/5 indestructible. That's it's a big dude. Let's take the Siege Worm, though. Okay, Siege Worm number 2. There's also Evolving Wilds, Wall of Mulch, both of which are good. Let's take the Siege Worm. Let's just go deep on these awesome big fat beaters. Curd Chieftain's a great card. I don't have any removal, do I? I've just got the Flesh of Dust and a Necrobite. Could use some more removal. Hopefully we see some more. Oh, geez. Talk about good picks in here. Living Totem, which buffs something permanently, and it's got Convoke. We've got Covenant of Blood, which is just an excellent removal plus gain life. We've got Gather Courage, which is like a free trick. Yeah, we're really just either picking the Living Totem or the Covenant of Blood. Jeez, I don't even know. I think I want the Covenant, just because I'm a little bit short on removal. We've already got some bomb creatures. Living Totem is great too, but Covenant just deals with stuff, buys me time. Tough to argue with that one. Hey, Necromancer's Assistant. That actually works well with the Scavenger. That's cool. Otherwise, I'm taking Titanic Growth, which is a pretty excellent trick. I don't know, though. You think we're going to table the Wayfinder and Scavenger? Can we be so lucky? Let's take the Assistant, just in case we do. We can still possibly make that deck a real thing. Here's our Wayfinder. Now, do we table the Scavenger? I don't regret picking Yisan over it, because Yisan's just a great card. But we'll see if that pans out for us. All right, not so much. We got maybe it's the next one, but we got Invasive Species, which is great. Oh my God, we got the Scavenger. That's great. So we got the deck. We literally have the deck. We've got an Assistant, a couple Wayfinders, and a couple Scavengers. That's awesome. Let's make this thing happen. This doesn't really work with the deck, but neither of these other cards matter, so we'll just cut black. This is 21 cards. I mean, I totally feel like we're in the right color. Yeah, we didn't get to play Jace or Dauntless River Marshal, but we're totally in the right color. Colors. So I think early cuts we can do. Probably the Rotfeaster Maggot. It's not that he's a bad card. At this point, we've got the nice sort of synergies going with Scavenger and Wayfinder and Necromancer's Assistant. So I'd almost rather just not play the Maggot. Because the Maggot sort of is like counter to what that plan is, you know what I mean? Because you're exiling creatures, so then, yeah, it makes sense. Hunter's Ambush, interesting, but not going to take it. I guess we'll hate that in case someone's got a bonkers red deck, but I made some comments earlier on Foundry Street Denizen, and I think I'm standing by it. I left it in a comment that if you guys remember Blood Crazed Neonate from Innistrad, that's how I basically view Foundry Street Denizen in this format. It's like you have to slam it on turn 1, in Blood Crazed Neonate's case on turn 2. If you don't get him on that early turn, they're just garbage mid to late game. It's like a straight up dead draw mid to late game. Oh my God. Yeah, Hornet Queen, thanks. Invasive Species in here. Probably table it. We tabled it last time. But, Jesus. Hornet Queen, my God. That is a hell of a 7-drop. No Convoke, but pretty bonkers nonetheless. Alright. Venom Sliver, Covenant of Blood. I think we got to take the Covenant. Get some more removal going. Get ready to cut that Maggot. Maybe we'll get it'd be nice to get some land ramp, but we'll see if that pans out. All right, Scavenger number 3 seems legit, although we tabled it last time. But I'd rather have it than the second Paragon, I think. This really isn't that much of a Paragon deck. A black Paragon, that is, because we're much more green than black, but we're still definitely going to play the black. But yeah, let's take the third Scavenger. Let's go deep on this Scavenger plan. It's fun. It seems like a legit strategy. This card's really good. Jeez. I really think this card is just insane. Doesn't even need the second ability. Just spitting out tokens all day. Yeah, let's take the Scavenger. Alright. Brawler's Plate seems fine, especially if these guys get huge. There's really not that much else for us anyway. Vineweft actually works surprisingly well with all the self-mill because you can just get it back, which is actually kind of cool. But Brawler's Plate seems legit. giving trample, because we currently don't have any trample. Oh, that's not true. We have the siege worms, I guess. But still, I still would rather have it for our cheap stuff. It makes the wayfinders a good beater at some point. I don't know. I kind of like it. Let's take Brawler's Plate, but I guess what would I cut for it? That's another question. Maybe we don't need the Paragon of Open Graves at this point. It is a Lord, but it's just like we've got like 2 dudes in the deck that benefit from him, so he's not even that good in here. Let's just take the Brawler's Plate. Stab Wound, great card. Netcaster Spider, very good. I think we got to take the Stab Wound. This is the first time I've even seen it or had it in this format. And just a very, very fun card from Return to Ravnica. Doubles as both removal or a win condition, so very fun card to play. Awesome on the Netcaster Spider, I imagine. Who would also be fine for this deck. But yeah, we're going to take the Stab Wound for sure. We got to take that. So I think I might cut the Shaman of Spring, maybe. Maybe we just cut the Necrobite. Not that it's a bad card, because it's not, but I do want my creature count pretty high to make these scavengers much more useful. But obviously at the same time I want removal too, so. Okay. Hunt the Weak, Roaring Primodox, Netcaster Spider, all are good. Are there any other spells I can cut? I really can't, to be honest. There's not that many. I guess I could cut the Brawler's Plate, even though I just took it. I'd almost rather maybe play Hunt the Weak, because it's straight up removal. Eating dudes is pretty important when you're... Let's cut the Brawler's Plate. I think I would rather have the Hunt the Weak than the Brawler's Plate. I'd rather be able to just eat something on board. And we have some decent cards that can do it too, so some decent fatties that can eat dudes. Verdant Haven seems legit in here, but I can see the argument against it too. It's not a creature, but it does ramp us to our 7. I mean, we've got to get to 7 mana, which is not easy. Otherwise, Shadowcloak Vamp, but I don't even know what I cut at this point. I like everything we have. Everything we have looks really strong and powerful. I don't know. I think I'm going to take the Verdant Haven because we literally have 5/7 drops, so it feels like I need it. But I got to figure out how I'm going to even... Oh my god, are you kidding me? Yeah, I guess we take Colonian Twin Grove. Just all the fatties. Alright, well that like solidifies that we're definitely playing Verdant Haven. So then it's like, maybe I just cut... I don't even know. Everything looks good. Let's cut the Shaman of Spring. It's unnecessary. And we're taking the Twin Grove, and so we have to make even another cut, because I'm going to play 17 lands. That is definitely a given. Invasive Species tabled. If I can make it work, I'll play it. It's even nice for like Scavenger to like reset if more creatures have gotten in the yard. But obviously it's very good with the Twin Grove too. You just get free token dudes. Yeah, that's pretty good. This deck is insane. We could not have been in more of the right colors. We totally made the Scavenger deck sort of work. It would have been nice to maybe get one more Assistant or one more Wayfinder, but the species bounces the Wayfinders to even get you more. It's nice. Guess we can take the Bear. Could also take the Bronze Sable, but we have the Paragon, so whatever. I don't think we're even playing it. Naturalize I'm going to take for sideboard. Sign in Blood's good, but I don't even think we need it. We don't even need the Naturalize either. It's just in case. Probably don't need a second one. I guess we can take that, but not likely to play it. All right, got one anyway. Festered Womb, great sideboard card. All right, so black-green, obviously the right colors. I mean, look at the dope cards we got. We got Hornet Queen, Colonian Twin Grove, Triple Scavenger, Double Wayfinder, Necromancer's Assistant, Yisan the Wanderer Bard, which is really cool too. Got the full spectrum of creatures to dig up as well. Very cool deck. I'm digging it. quite a bit. Let's group separate for now so I can take a look at what we're dealing with. I don't want to cut the Court of Calling. Instant speed creature seems insane. I guess it's pricey. Like, maybe I do need to be conscious of that. I guess for 5 mana, I can instant speed dig up a Wayfinder or even a Venom Sliver for a block. But maybe this deck doesn't even need Court of Calling just because my stuff is so expensive. I mean, yeah, I get that it's got Convoke, so I can do it cheaper. Maybe that... Jeez. I don't know. I'm too excited for my own good. There's like too many goodies in here. I don't even know what to cut. Everything looks good. Can't cut any of these. They're insane. I don't want to cut any creatures because they're all good. I've got a pretty decent curve, so I don't want to cut any of that. I don't want to cut my ramp because I've got all these 7-drops. Jeez. I don't even know where to begin. I gotta make 2 cuts though. I really do. Alright, so first and foremost, let's establish what's not getting cut. Wayfinders, Scavengers, Necromancer's Assistant, not getting cut. That's a nice like shell synergy that I like. Siege Worms, Hornet Queen, Colonian Twin Grove, none of those can get cut. Those are all bonkers. Even Charging Rhino is a very nice beater. And it's like our only 5-drop, so it seems questionable to cut that. The Child of Night and Venom Sliver and the Elvish Mystic, I don't really feel comfortable cutting those either because they're just they're so well priced. I don't really want to cut Yisan because he digs stuff up, which is insane. And he just keeps going. So every turn, dig up a creature and put it in play. I mean, that's insane. Jeez. I really don't know. Maybe I do cut the Verdant Haven, just keep our creature count high. I mean, as much as I want to ramp, I don't know. As much as I want to ramp, I need to have my creature count extremely high, and I need to have my spells be pretty much either removal or bust, you know, at this point. So I need to make one more cut. It's not Stab Wound, it's not Hunt the Weak, it's not Flesh to Dust, it's not the Covenants. It's possibly Court of Calling, but like I said, this card is so strong. In the right circumstances, this card is just too good to cut. Look at the targets we have to dig up to. If I have Convoke, if I have 3 dudes to tap, and then I have 7 mana, I just find Hornet Queen. I mean, I can't cut Court of Calling. The sheer amount of rares I have in here is insane. The Court of Calling, Yisan, Hornet Queen, Colonian Twin Grove. Jeez. I guess I could cut the Charging Rhino, even though it fits the curve well. It won't, I mean, it'll kind of stop me, I guess. If I get to 5, I won't be able to find anything, but then once I'm at 6 and 7, I'll be able to find the goods. I don't know what else to cut, though. All of these are good. Invasive Species is so awesome with the Wayfinders when you've got the Scavengers. Just reset, do it again, find another land, put more creatures in the yard. He also is insane with Hornet Queen. Bounce it, play it, get 4 more Death Touch flyers that are super hard to deal with. You pretty much have to get Fester Gloomed to stop that value. I could cut the Charging Rhino. Could be the weakest guy. Which is shocking, I know, because this card is so good. But look at this. I don't even want to cut Child of Night. Even though, you know, we're obviously a little bit low on black. I mean, this guy comes down and can beat in. I guess I could. But it's so cheap. I think I've got enough late game stuff going on. Between Twin Grove, Double Siege Worm, and Hornet Queen, I guess I don't need the 5-drop. And I don't want to cut the Siege Worms either. Child of Night, essentially, if I can play it early, it's a nice like way to convoke stuff out. So it makes sense to me why I'm keeping it in. It attacks well early. It'll be relevant for Convoke for Covenant of Blood and Siege Worms later. Yeah, maybe in a pinch I can Court of Calling it up for 5 mana, chump block something, gain 2 life, which is like just enough to throw off their combat math. Situational, I know, but possible. All right, so 17 creatures, which is a pretty good count. Pretty good removal. Double Covenant of Blood, Flesh of Dust, Hunt the Weak. Pretty good early creature count. Nothing to scoff at least. All right, I'm down. I'm digging this. Let's sort by color. Wow, way more green than black. No fixing per se. They say 13-4. I disagree. Let's do, I could do 11-6 pretty comfortably. I've got the double black for Flesh to Dust, but considering I've got double Satyr Wayfinder, there's a good chance I can find my second black source. And I guess Child of Night you want to play early. I just don't feel comfortable doing 10-7 since we have 2 triple green spells. You really need to hit your green. This deck needs to hit green to function. So, I mean, I don't think I want to go 10-7. I don't feel comfortable going 7 with that few black spells. All right, I like this deck a lot. I think it's really good. A lot of powerful spells in here. Yes, it's a high curve, but I don't know. I think it looks good. We've got the Mystic to ramp. We've got double Wayfinder to find lands. 17 lands in addition to that. We've got the Invasive Species to bounce Wayfinder to play again and find more lands. Yisan, dig stuff up, which is really cool. Court of Calling, which I haven't gotten it to play yet, which looks exciting. Yeah, this deck looks like a lot of fun. All right. I'll see you guys round 1.